HP Chat Track in association with the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel and sponsored by Singer Jamaica Limited presents Paris Ayad. Come hang out with HP as we chat about the Olympics track and field with athletes, fans, coaches, and friends of Jamaica track and field in independent style. The Pegasus Hotel in Jamaica is the place to be from August 2 to 11. Come chat with HP Chat Track as we go live with interviews and discussions.
Your girl HP is on her mark, so get set ready.
On your mark, set, go.
Oh yeah, make we chat about it. What if I said?
Let us cheer on Team Jamaica in Paris from Yad. Remember to subscribe, like, and share with your family and friends, Yad and abroad.
We're running it all the way, we're in the lead. We're running it.
Good afternoon, good morning, good night, wherever in the world you are. We are back here today. It is another day of competition in Paris. It is day 6 of track and field, and from you see these faces, you know that we are about track and field. I'm your girl, HP from HP Chat Track, and of course we're here today to deliver more for you. Of course, Unseen Sports TV is also somewhere in the building, but welcome each and everyone from around the world watching on YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're watching from. Welcome, 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 welcome to all 7 continents, because all 7 continents are at the games. And welcome, and of course, my co-host, my analyst, my data bank, the doctor in the making, Akil Henry. Akil, how are you today on day 6?
I'm all right. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm really looking forward to the track and field action today. Though we're only in one final today, the men's long jump. But I'm also looking forward to the men's 1500. Exciting stuff. Kerr versus Jakob, that should be exciting. I'm looking forward to the women's 200 as well. Can Julian Alfred get the double, or will she have a formidable Gabby Thomas, snatch it from her finger? So it's going to be a good day for track and field. I'm believing that today Jamaica will continue our medal charge in the men's long jump.
Totally agree with you, Akil. And you just mentioned the 200 meters, which we will mention later on. But, our heart is broken about the 200 meters. But we will get into it as we get into the games. But, as I said before, all 7 continents are at the game, and we welcome you all wherever you are. And of course, before we go further, I just want to say thank you to the Jamaica Pegasus in Kingston, Jamaica, for hosting us. Thanks to Singer Jamaica Limited, who is also on board. Thanks to Wet Sundays Continues, who is also on board. HP Entertainment, yes, I am affiliated with that brand also. They too are also on board. And of course, Micah Ware, who is also on board. Thanks to all our sponsors. And before we get into the events, I just want you guys to know that I have a 50-inch television courtesy of Singer Jamaica Limited that I'm going to be giving away on this show. So we're going to give away this television on Friday. Friday will be day 9. We will be giving away that television in a quiz. So if you know the Jamaica Olympic legacy and you want to win this 50-inch big screen TV, come on down to the Pegasus and have a quick quiz with us, and you will have an opportunity to win this television. With that said, let us just go right now into looking at some of the events this morning that Jamaica was a part of.
Indeed. So now we're going to look. So this morning we have the women's 1500 meters. So we only had one Jamaican representative, and it's Miss Adele Tracy. So Miss Adele Tracy, I should say. So Miss Adele Tracy, she didn't qualify to the semifinals. She will have to run through the repechage round in order to qualify. So she actually was in heat. I just want to ensure that. So she was in heat 1 of the women's 1500 meters, and she placed 13th in that heat. And she ran a season's best at the time, 4 minutes 09.33 seconds. And based on the 800 meters, you could see that hasn't been in her in the same form that we saw last year when she was running 3 minute 57. She was running 3 minute 57 in the 1500, as well as 1 minute 58 in the 800 meters. And we don't know what was going on throughout the course of the year, but she continues to represent us well in these events.
Indeed.
And I'm happy that she was able to come out here and give off her best. She always run and smile. I find that very fascinating about her. But she will be running in the repechage round, which will take place tomorrow.
And Akil, just to add a little bit to that, this is one of the events that I am advocating for, that we pay some attention to the middle and the long distance, especially the middle distance. We can start with the 800 and the 1500. I am a big advocate. I am lobbying for us to set up a system in Jamaica to at least put some attention in the middle distance. But that is for another discussion. Let us now look at the women's long jump qualification. Okay, so the women's long jump qualification. So in group, so we only have one Jamaican representative in the women's. We had two Jamaican representatives, I should say, Miss Shanice Porter and Akila Smith of Texas. Now, Shanice Porter would have been in Group A. She jumped a best of 6 meters. 6.48 meters, which was not enough to qualify to the long jump. So just to give some further context, so the qualification standard for the women's long jump would have been 6.75 meters, and she would have jumped 6.48. So she would have had to qualify with a small Q, but that was not the case. Akila Smith of Texas University, she qualified. She was in Group B. She qualified to the final with a jump of 6.59 meters, and she would have she's an NCAA champion, and I believe that long jump is her better event. And I'm happy that she was able to deliver and get herself into the final. Last year she was actually she didn't make it to the final last year. No. So it's a big improvement for her, and I'm pretty sure that come final time she will be very formidable. Now I just want to highlight a couple of individuals in this event. So Miss Tara Woodhouse Hall, she qualified with the best. She had the highest jump in the qualification. She jumped 6.90 meters, and she is the favorite. She is one of the individuals who have been consistently dominating this event. You also have to look at Larissa Lapacino of Italy. She jumped 6.87 meters. She actually has Jamaican. She has Jamaican heritage, so it's good to see that Jamaican diaspora being there and representing us very well. Indeed. And the woman who I expect to win this event, Miss Mahambo of Germany, 6.86 meters on her final jump. So it was a really good qualification day. Five women jumped over the qualification standard, and we know that come the long jump final, we expect to see some fireworks in that event. Indeed. And just to wrap up this morning, Jamaica there were some repechage rounds that Jamaica wasn't a part of that. Thank God for that. Jamaica wasn't a part of the women's 400-meter repechage round. They were not a member or involved in the 400-meter hurdles for men, but two Jamaicans were involved in the repechage round of the men's 200-meter, and only one advanced to the final and to the semifinal. And this is why I tell people I like this repechage round, because it gives you an opportunity to get to the next level. Andrew Hudson, correct me if I'm wrong, did not make it to the semifinal, but young Brian Level, who just left high school just a couple of years ago, he is into the semifinal round as a result of the repechage round. Indeed. So I like this round, as I said before, because it gives you an opportunity. Now when we look back, we can say Brian Level was involved, or he was a part of the semifinal for the men's 200 meter. So just to catch up now, let us talk about the men's 400 meter semifinal.
Men's 400 meter semifinals. Okay. So for the men's 400 meter semifinal, that will take place later on in the evening session. You know, the men's 400 is very stacked. You know, it's very unpredictable. There's no one really, you know, putting their hand up and say, yes, I am the champion, I am the favorite, because there are quite a bit of contenders in this event. So in heat number one, we have Quincy Hall, the American champion, you know, 43.80 seconds this year. Belgium's Alexander Doom, world indoor champion in this event. You know, he is a European champion in this event, and he's one of you know, the individuals who I believe will be on the podium as well, will be on the podium for this event. Alexander Doom. You also have Jareem Richards of Trinidad and Tobago. Good to see him. You know, he very strong at the 200 meters, very good at the 400 meters as well. He has run 44.18 this season, so I'm looking forward to see him. Charles Thompson of Great Britain, you know, 44.23 seconds. He's also the European Championship silver medalist. So I do expect this heat is a very, very loaded heat. You know, Norwegian in Ig Valdesen, you know, the Norwegian 45.2.
We can do the top three for each heat and wherever the Jamaican fall.
So I'm just highlighting the fact that this heat is very loaded. You know, it's top two qualifying and the next two fastest non-automatic qualifiers. And, you know, from this heat, you know, I'm really looking at Quincy Hall and Alexander Doom as the qualifiers from this heat, because I believe, you know, Alexander Doom, he is a fast finisher. You know, and I do expect that come that straight away where you see a lot of the, you know, the quarter milers, you know, trying to reach for the line. I believe that Alexander Doom, based on his race pattern, he will be able to pull through. And of course, Quincy Hall, we know, is a hard runner, and I do expect Quincy Hall to really. So I expect those two individuals, Alexander Doom and Quincy Hall, to make it to the final. Let's hope that Jareem Richards and Charles Dobson can probably, you know, hope for a non-automatic qualification.
And Javon Powell, our own Javon Powell, we are hoping that he too will get to the final as
non-automatic.
Well, as an
what I will say is that, and you never write off individuals at Olympic Games, but his heat is loaded. His heat is very tough. So let me just give context as to his heat. So in his heat, all of the competitors in his heat have run sub 45.
Oh wow.
You know, all of the competitors in his heat have run sub 45 this season, so it's a very, very, very tough heat. In this heat, he has the Nigerian youngster Samuel Ogazi, 44.50. Michael Norman, world champion from 2022. 2022 world champion, 44.10 this season. Matthew Hudson Smith of Great Britain. Christopher Morales with Williams, who would have beaten him at the NCAA championships. So this is a very, very, very tough heat.
It is.
Do I believe that he can qualify? What I will say is that he is coached. He is coached by Mr. Holloway, our coach Holloway, Mike Holloway of Florida State, and Mike Holloway is known for his quarter milers. So I do believe that Mike Holloway would have prepared Javon Powell to possibly run a personal best at these Olympic Games. Will the personal best be enough for him to qualify? We wait and see.
Wow. And just to add some information to this 400 meters, this 400 meters was one of the events that Jamaica started its Olympic glory in. At the 1948 Olympic Games, Jamaica won a quinella in the 400 meter with Mr. Arthur Wint and Mr. Herb McKinley. They came back 4 years after at the 1952 Olympic Games and won a quinella again. Jamaica won another quinella with Mr. George Roden winning the gold and Mr. Herb McKinley again taking the silver medal. So we have a rich, rich legacy in the quarter mile.
Indeed, indeed. And just to highlight that Jamaica has had a finalist in the men's 400 meters from, ever since 2017. So from 2017, Jamaica has at least had one participant in the men's 400 meter final. So we're really, looking forward to seeing, him, Mr. Paul, giving off his best and really delivering, in the big moment.
And keep the legacy going, as I would say. Now, the big one, or one of the big one, the women's 400 meter hurdles semi-final, that is coming up. That is going to be mouth-watering because all three of our women have managed to get to the semi-final without going to the repechage round. And this is just awesome. This is just awesome stuff.
Indeed, indeed. Awesome indeed. So heat number 1, we have Miss Rochelle Clayton. She is the fastest Jamaican this year with 52.51. She is in a heat with Jasmine Jones of the United States of America, Lena Nielsen of Great Britain. Lena Nelson of Great Britain. And I do believe that Rochelle Clayton should qualify. She, along with Jasmine Jones, should qualify in, to the final. Something I want to highlight, though, is that the question remains, will Rochelle Clayton go for the victory in this heat, or will she just go for just a big Q?
I think she should go for the victory because I realize that the victory will set her up nicely beside her main rivals, and she will also get a good lane, what we call a good lane in the middle, in the middle of the track.
Because why I say this, because the person who should be competing against in this heat is one Jasmine Jones of the United States, and she is a hard runner as well. And I do believe that both of them will be going for the victory in this heat. For me, I do believe she should go for the victory, not just for the placements, but also the confidence as well, because as I said before, women's 400 meter hurdles, yes, everyone is talking about the big two, Sydney McLaughlin and Femke Ball, but I do believe it's going to be a battle for that bronze medal.
Yes.
And these two women, I believe, will be there in battling for the bronze medal.
Indeed, indeed.
Indeed. Heat number 2. So for heat number 2, we have the big players in heat number 2. We have Genevieve Russell of Jamaica, Genevieve Russell, Sydney McLaughlin Lavroni. Sydney McLaughlin Levroni of USA, Diallo of Portugal, Maraval of France. She is on home turf. And I just want to highlight as well that, Foloronzo of Italy, she is actually a finalist from last year. She finished 6th last year. She qualified via the repechage round. So she is someone who would have benefited.
Repechage again.
Benefited from the repechage round. Genevieve Russell, this heat for Genevieve Russell is doable. She can qualify from this heat.
Even with a small queue, with a little queue.
Well, I wouldn't advise her to go for a little queue. I think she can, I think she can finish top 2 in this heat.
Okay.
If she is to run and execute her race, based on this season's performance, I don't believe that any of the contestants should beat her. So I believe Genevieve Russell and Sydney McLaughlin Levroni comfortable top 2s in this heat. All right. So heat number 3 now. Heat number 3, I believe, is a very, very, very good heat. I believe small queues will come from this heat. So in heat number 3, the big players, Cheyenne Salmon.
I like how you say that. I like how you say that the big players, and then you call Cheyenne Salmon's name. I like that. Yeah.
So Cheyenne Salmon, she'll be in lane 5. Femke Ball of Netherlands, she will be running from lane 6. Anna Cockrell from United States of America, she'll be in lane 7. And you also have other candidates such as Jessie Knight of Great Britain and Savannah Sutherland of Canada. So as stated before, I believe that the 2 non-automatic qualifiers will come from this heat. It's a very fast heat. Top 2, I like how Cheyenne Salmon looks in the heat. However, Anna Cockrell has been imperious.
And she's consistent.
She's been very consistent. So I do believe Femke Ball and Anna Cockrell will qualify as top 2, and Cheyenne Solomon, if she executes well,
a fast finish should give her.
She will be one of the non-automatic qualifiers from this heat. But yes, the women's 400-meter hurdles, it promises to be, a cracking event. I wouldn't be surprised if all the contestants in this event, or all the finalists in this event, goes on to run the sub 53. I wouldn't be surprised by that.
It is doable, because if you look at how these women have been competing all season, on the circuit at their national championships, it is doable.
And Anjanette Knight, in an interview, she said it. She said it in her interview that this is an event. This event is getting fast, so you have to get fast with the event. And because I think a reporter was asking her about her race strategy, of always going out strong and and trying to hold towards the end. She was saying that she won't change her race strategy, because this is an event that is getting faster and faster every minute.
It is.
And I really do believe that this race is going to produce some quality performers even outside of the big two of Femke and Sydney McLaughlin.
I think it is going to be a big race with a big time, because you'll have Sydney McLaughlin, Levrone, and Femke Ball from the Netherlands leading this one, and I think they're going to be pulling the field with them. So I can see quite a few people from this final getting personal best. Indeed. So now we move to the men's long jump. And I'm really excited, because I think Jamaica will Jamaica will continue their medal, push at these Olympic Games. So in the men's long jump, so just to give some context to the field in the men's long jump. So in the men's long jump, we have the defending Olympic champion, Mr. Tentoglu of Greece. Now, just to highlight something about Tentoglu. Tentoglu has only lost one major championship from Tokyo to these Olympic Games, and that one title he lost was a
world championships in Oregon, 2022, and the man to beat him in that in Oregon. Can
we say Wayne Pinnock?
It wasn't Wayne Pinnock, it was Jian Wang of China. He was the man who defeated Tentoglu in 2022. What I will say about Tentoglu is that Tentoglu, he is clutch. He is a formidable opponent. He's like a competitor where you have to dominate him in order to beat him. You cannot give him a sniff, you cannot give him an inch, because he is going to come at you. He's very persistent. Remember last year he defeated Wayne Pinnock on the last jump, and it's only by 1 centimeter did he defeated Wayne Pinnock. So he's a very, very formidable opponent. Then we have the Jamaicans. But before we talk about the Jamaicans, I also want to talk about this young man, Mattia Furlani. So we talk from Italy. We talk about, Jaden Hibbert being a youth prodigy. Mattia Furlani, he is a prodigy of himself, in and of himself, and he has been creating waves this year. World indoor champion in the long jump. He is a European Championship silver medalist in the long jump. So he has been consistently there challenging Tentoglu this season, and I do believe that Furlani will be there fighting for podium position.
Well, let me ask you a question, Akil. Last year, we are riding on a high from last year. Second, third, and fourth from Budapest last year. We got 2 of the 3 medals. As it is right now, Kerry McLeod is in second. He's going into this final as the number 2. What are our chances? What do you think our chances will be?
I actually had a sweep in this event in our prediction show.
Okay.
However, Tajay Gale did not make it to the final. What I will say is that Wayne Pinnock and Kerry McLeod, they will be they would be encouraging each other, they will be feeding off each other, they'll be propelling each other, and that's a wonderful thing about qualifying to a final with their teammates. We talk about the United States of America in the women's 100 meters. We had the 3 teammates pushing each other, propelling each other, and USA got 2, 3, and 5.
And just to add some more information to that, Carey McLeod and Wayne Pinnock, they're not just Jamaican teammates. They are 40s. They are formerly of Kingston College, the winningest boys' school in boys' champs. They're actually teammates from university.
Indeed.
So they have this bond in more ways than one. They're Jamaicans, they're 40s, and they're also
Razorbacks from the Arkansas Razorbacks.
So they have so much energy with each other going into this event. I think we can look for something.
Yes. So I actually believe both of them will be on the podium. I do believe that both of them will be challenging for gold, and it's really exciting as I said before, long jump is one of my favorite events. I love seeing when the athletes would just run up and just jump, and sometimes it seems as if they're walking in the air, and it's an event that I enjoy. And
there's that shot that I saw of Wayne Pinnock last year at the World Championship. It's like he was almost flying.
Indeed.
In the air. He went up and he was just flying into the pit, and I was like, wow, that is art. So I think Wayne Pinnock might not be at his best at 100%, but I think he is going to give it his best shot with his teammate Carey McLeod. And for those of you who don't remember, Wayne Pinnock won the silver medal last year at the World Championship, leading the Jamaicans into a second, third, and fourth spot.
And so, as relates to other competitors who could possibly, challenge for the podium as well, Simon E. Hammer of Switzerland, he's also a really strong, good competitor as well. He finished. He got a bronze at the European Championships, and he's someone who can really unleash a big jump, and really just upset the field. And he shouldn't be taken for granted. This is a very good field. However, and this is my thing as it relates to the men's long jump, I'm really hoping that the long jumpers today, that they go all out. I do not like to see 8 meters 30 winning long jumps. I don't like to see 8 meters 20 winning long jumps. When you're used to the 8 meters 60, when you're used to the 8 meters 60, the 8 meters 50, the 8 meters 70, that is what you would have been used to growing up. And to see 8 meters 20 winning the long jump, I really hope to see a highly competitive competition today, and that's what I'm looking forward to in this event.
And you mentioned 8.65 winning. There's one person going into this final with that time. Have you mentioned the Greek athlete who is actually leading the charge? Even though he's number 9, I would say he's leading the charge. Indeed. Based on his mark of 8.65 meters.
Indeed. All right.
So this event is going to be an exciting one to watch, and especially that the Jamaicans have done so well last season and they come back again. And last year we got 3 in the final. This year we have 2 in the final. So the Jamaican men and the Jamaican athletes continue to bring the field events forward. We're now seeing where field events, as far as I'm concerned right now, the field is dominating the Olympic Games for Jamaica right now. The field is leading, and they're leading in style. Indeed.
So now we move on to the next final with Caribbean representation. That is the women's 200-meter final, and I expect this event to be cracking. I do expect this event to be cracking. So let's give a breakdown of the lane draws. So in the final, the women's 200 meters, lane number 2, we have Mackenzie Long of the United States of America, NCAA champion 2024. We have from Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, in lane number 3, Jessica Gabby. You know, good to see the nation of Ivory Coast continue to produce sprinters. You know, Marie Jose Talou, Mira Lahore. It's good to see that they're continuing that tradition, that tradition, and you know, she should be proud of herself. In lane number 4, Great Britain, Dina Asher Smith. You know, expect her be a world champion in 2019. You know, she 200 meters, in my opinion, is her better event, and I expect her to really mount a serious podium effort today. Lane number 5 from Great Britain, Darrell Neater. You know, she finished 4th in the 100 meters. I think she'll be looking for redemption in the 200 meters. Lane number 6, Brittany Brown of the United States of America. She was actually silver medalist at the 2019 World Championships that Dina Asher Smith won. So she is not used to, well, she's no slouch. And she's used to this event. And she's used to being on podium. So it's someone you have to pay attention to. Lane number 7, we have one Gabriel Thomas. She is the American champion, you know, World Championship silver medalist from Budapest, Olympic bronze medalist from Tokyo. I expect her to be formidable in this event. Julian Alfred, the 2024 Olympic champion of St. Lucia, she'll be in lane number 8. And lane number 9 from Nigeria, Flavor Ofili. You know, this is going to be a cracking women's 200-meter final. And let me tell you something, based on the semifinals, I believe it's going to be really hard to stop Gabby Thomas.
Let me tell you something, just to add some information, just to share. You guys know I love to share the legacy. Jamaica has not been absent from this event for the women from 1976. From 1976, Jamaica has had a finalist in the 200 meters at the Olympic Games. And just to add some more, our first Olympic medal from the women came from the 200 meters with Merlene Joyce Otti Page. I know a lot of you don't know that name, but when Merlene Otti won this bronze medal, her name was Merlene Joyce Otti Page, winning a bronze medal. The first Olympic medal for Jamaica from the women came from this event. So I'm a little emotional today because we're not in this, and I'm about legacy. And it means that when we look back at our legacy, we will not see Jamaica in this.
But just to add to that Jamaica, in this event, Jamaica has had a long stretch where we have been earning medals in every Olympics in this event from 1980. So in 1984, Grace Jackson earned a silver. 1984, Merlene Otti again got a bronze medal. 1988, Grace Jackson, silver medal. 1992, Juliet Cuthbert and Merlene Otti, silver and bronze. 1996, silver medal to Merlene Otti. 2000, Beverly McDonald. 2004, Veronica Campbell-Brown, gold. 2008, Veronica Campbell-Brown, gold. 2016, Elaine Thompson. 2020, Elaine Thompson era. I just want to highlight though gold. I just want to highlight though that the last 5 Olympic Games, it has been gold to Jamaica. The first two gold. USA, gold. Next 2 gold for Jamaica. I believe that trend is going to continue because Gabby Thomas looks so good in the semifinal. And I just want to highlight, ladies and gentlemen, that Gabby Thomas is in lane number 7. Normally at the US trials, on the Diamond League circuit, that is her preferred lane. And I can tell you, based on how Gabby Thomas attacked the curve in the semifinals, if Julian Alfred doesn't create a gap or a distance between herself and Gabby Thomas, it's lights out.
It's going to be this, even though Jamaica is not in this race, and I'm a little emotional about it, but I can tell you it will be a very good race because Julian Alfred, the 100-meter champion a few nights ago for St. Lucia, she is going to go out hard. Her first 100-meter, she will be leaving everybody behind her. But Gabby Thomas, Gabriel Thomas, who is affectionately called Gabby, she will be coming like a train for that gold medal. So, but I do think Julian Alfred can win the sprint double to become the second Caribbean woman to win the sprint double at an Olympic game.
Well, I just want to correct you there. I actually believe that the first person off the curve could possibly be Dina Asher-Smith.
Well, I guess you're right.
Because Dina Asher-Smith, Dina Asher-Smith at the London Diamond League, she ran an awesome curve. But the issue for Dina Asher-Smith is is she strong enough? Is she strong enough to hold off Gabby and Julian Alfred, and I'm not sure. So at this point in time, we have the men's 400-meter semifinal heat 1. So no Jamaican representative in this heat. But I would like to know, HP, who do you have making it to the final from this heat?
All right, let's see. Let me see if I can quickly pull up that heat on my Can you tell us who is in that?
So in this heat, we have Quincy Hall of the USA, the American champion, Alexander Doom, Jareem Richardson, Charles Dobson.
Wow.
You know, it's a very loaded heat.
Yeah, Doom and Quincy, I think, will get through automatically. I have those two to lead the pack into the straightaway to the finish line, and everything else will be on the bubble, I think.
I believe this heat could possibly have 2 non-automatic qualifiers, but let's wait and see. So they're off.
They're off now.
Jareem Richards, he's going out. And it's Quincy Hall who is in the lead. Can he hold on?
Yes, Quincy Hall is definitely leading the pack into the
Oh, and Alexander Doom has pulled out of the race.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's a broke. Quincy Hall looks unstoppable. Yeah. It's very... Yeah, Quincy Hall. It's very unfortunate there for Doom because he has been having a great season.
Indeed.
He has been having a great season.
Indeed. So Quincy Hall, he actually won this heat in 43.96 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very impressive from Quincy Hall. You know, Jareem Richardson, he qualified with 44.33. You know, in third place, it was the Botswanian athlete. Can't pronounce his name. You know, but his first name is Busang. You know, his time of 44.43. Charles Dobson of the United States, 44.48. So, ladies and gentlemen, in order to qualify for the men's 400-meter final, you definitely will have to target 44.48 or faster. But what do you think about Quincy Hall's race?
I have Quincy on the podium. I definitely have Quincy Hall on the podium. He has been looking super smooth, super clean all season, and I think he is going to carry that into the final. And I think Matthew from Great Britain is going to have his work cut out for him. Yeah.
Indeed.
I mean, last year he was doing so well, but of course he was interrupted by the great Jamaican Antonio Watson. But I think Quincy will challenge for that gold medal.
But I just want to highlight something, ladies and gentlemen. We talk about the event getting faster. 6 men ran sub 45 in that semifinal.
Amazing. Amazing.
44.64
Oh
did
God.
not make the final.
But
It just speaks to how,
the depth.
yes, the depth in this event.
And that was what I was saying. What do we need to do though as a country to at least get in the race a little bit more, where we can have finalists, convincing finalists in this event? Of course, we have Antonio Watson, who did a brilliant job last season. But if you take him out of the picture, how can we get 2 and 3 going forward?
Indeed, indeed. So the men's long jump finalists, they're coming out. Exciting times ahead. But to answer your question, you know, I really do believe that I think we should be patient.
But we've been patient for years. We've been patient for years. And of course, mark you, we have done well in the 4x4. I'm not discrediting that. But as it relates to the individual event, I mean, it took us, what, 40 years, over 40 years to get another gold medal. Mark you, we've had medal with the likes of my good friend, Dr. Gregory Horton. But to be consistently challenging and making the finals of the quarter mile. Remember, the quarter mile was where we started.
Indeed.
That's our baby. That was where we started putting food on the table as it relates to gold medals. Our first gold medal at the Olympic, in the history of the Olympics game for Jamaica, is a 400-meter gold medal. You know, so it is. I would love to see us get back there. I would love to see us get back there.
Understood, but I do believe that this season was just a bad season for the men's 400, because I do believe that we have some really strong quarter milers coming up. It was just a bad season. But I don't know. Call me optimistic. Call me optimistic. But I do see that, you know, our quarter milers will improve going forward.
Yes.
So let's go into the heat number 2 of the men's 400
And on
meter.
the screen we have Kirani James. I like this young man. I like him.
Yes, he
so
has been
much.
representing Grenada since 2011 at the at the international stage at the senior level, and you know he continues to give us quality performances. So in his heat, we have the Commonwealth Games champion Samu Konga of Zambia. We have Christopher Bailey of the United States of America, Nadori of Botswana, C2 of Italy, and this is a very, very, very good heat. The depth of the men's 400 meters is ridiculous.
It is.
Indeed.
I mean, when you have men running 43, sub 44 so easily, it's crazy.
Indeed, indeed.
It is just at another level, people. The 400 meter, the quarter mile is at a totally different level. These men are running 43, sub 44 in the semifinal. In the semifinal, even in the rounds. In the semifinal, you have people running 43 like it's nothing. So
once again, this semifinal, ladies and gentlemen, all of the men in this heat have run sub 45 this season.
Wow.
Incredible. All of the men in this.
How do you pick 2 from this 8? Do you pick 2 from this 8?
For me, the two persons I'll be looking at, or the 2 individuals I'll be looking at, I'll definitely be looking at Kirani James and Samu Konga. I really do think that I do believe that they'll qualify top 2. Nadori and Christopher Bailey, they should not be slept on. In fact, I believe that you could have a non-automatic qualifier from this heat, but let's see how it goes.
Yeah, I like Kirani James, and I like his work ethics. He is very businesslike, and he come to these championships, as a serious person, and he quietly, even though he might not be the main talk of the town, but he comes quietly and he finds himself into the final, and also can find himself on the podium.
So they're off in the men's heat 2 of the men's 400 meters, and at this point, Chris, he looks really good. Kirani James looks really good. Also of United States, Christopher Bailey as well. He looks good as well. But watch out for Samu Konga of Zambia as well. So of the straightaways, Kirani James in the lead, Samu Konga in second place. Samu Konga is a very, very fast finisher.
Wow.
And Samu Konga, he takes the lead.
And Kirani James, people.
Yeah, so Samu Konga and Kirani James, those are two qualifiers.
Another final with a big Q. Another final for Kirani James of Grenada with a big Q. Amazing.
Ladies and gentlemen, 43.78 seconds for Kirani James.
Oh my
You know,
God.
he is indeed back. Samu Konga, 43.81. You know, wait and see. That would be, I believe HP, that could very well be a huge personal best for Samu Konga. Let's wait and see if it's confirmed to be an area record for him. 43.81 seconds. Christopher Bailey, 44.31. Nadori of Botswana, 44.43. So based on these times, ladies and gentlemen, Christopher Bailey, 44.31, he's in the bubble.
I'm super happy and I'm super excited for Kirani James. You would think he is a Jamaican the way how I am happy for him. This young man, he has gone through so much, and you know, with his health condition, the Graves' disease that he is battling, lost his mom, you know, a year or two ago. You know, it is really good to see him and to see him in this fashion.
Indeed. And just to highlight, ladies and gentlemen, that in order to make it to the final, Javon Powell definitely would have to target 44.43 seconds in order to make it to the final. Yes, he has to be, and he has to be either third or fourth. Well, he has to, yeah. That is the time that he definitely has to target going into the final.
As it is right now.
So the two non-automatic qualifiers are at this point in time. Christopher Bailey, 44.31. He was in Heat 2, and But this is very interesting, because both Nadori of Botswana and his compatriot from Heat 1, they both have 44.43 seconds.
What they will have to do, they will have to go down
to the thousandth of a second. And if they have the same time to the thousandth of a second, they would have to use all three of them.
Yes, yeah.
You know, it's a 9-lane track.
Or maybe they will have to look at what they've done in the previous round. And,
no, they wouldn't do that to them. They would just use the three athletes, because it's a 9-lane track.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's provided that none of the non-automatic qualifiers don't run faster than these individuals.
So Powell will have to target, in order to get a lane, he would have to target 44 points.
He would have to target 44.43, but just to highlight that it's not just 44.3 he has to target. He has to ensure that he qualifies either top 3 or top 4.
Oh wow.
Yes, because if he runs 44.31 and finishes 5th, he won't make it to the final.
Yes.
So let's look at Heat 3. Let's look at his heat, and his heat, as I said before, his heat is very loaded. But I'm very confident of his chances of making it to the final. I am. You know, his heat has, he will
have to run just as hard as anyone else.
Indeed.
In the semifinal.
However, HP, I want you to pay attention to this Botswanian nation, because they are showing us that they have a formidable 4x4 team.
Yes, they do.
Because you look at it, Botswana, they have 2 representatives fighting for the bubble, 44.43. So 4x4s, look forward to it, because it's going to be very exciting.
Africa is definitely at this Olympic Games. There's no doubt about that. They are definitely there. They're there from the sprints all the way down to the distance races. So I totally agree with you.
Indeed.
on that.
So they're announcing the semifinal 3. They're announcing semifinal 3.
Of course, Javon Powell is in lane 9.
Yeah, Javon Powell is in lane number 9. So my question to you, HP, how do you think Javon Paul should run his race?
I think, I mean, I'm not a coach or anything, but when you look at this, there we have Michael Norman from the USA on the screen, world champion. I think he will have to just put everything out there at this point. And when you look at the time that is on the bubble, I think he will just have to put everything out there from gun to tape.
Indeed. What I will say is that Javon Paul, he's normally a fast closer.
Yeah,
You know,
but
going
that might not help him today. I don't know.
going into the Olympic Games at the Mike Holloway meet, he ran 22.2. Sorry, he ran 20.2, I should say, in the men's 200 meters. So it shows you that there is some speed in the 200 meters. So, you know, I said before, I'm really confident of his chances. His personal best this year is 44.51. I said before, he is coached by Mike Holloway. Mike Holloway is known to coach excellent quarter
he's
milers.
a championship coach.
He's a championship coach. So I do expect him to prepare Javon Powell well for this event. Javon Powell actually is one of his strongest or one of his he's his strongest quarter miler.
And we saw how
as things stands.
And we saw how Mr. Holloway stole the championship at the NCAA outdoor championship this year. He stole it. I thought that it was gone with Arkansas, but their 4x4 team, I tell you, it was. So he knows how to prepare his athletes for championships. They're now on their marks in heat 3 of the men's 400, in semifinal 3, sorry, of the men's 400 meters.
And they're now out. Let's see how Javon Powell does.
Of course, he is in lane 9, so he will have to just put everything out there, just run. Because he's running blind right now. Oh, wow.
And Javon Powell is putting together a very, very good race.
Yes, he comes off the turn.
I said before, he's a fast finisher, so I do expect him to close.
Oh, this one look hard. Fight. Oh, wow.
So
look at those results. Tell me what those results are saying.
So Matthew Hudson, he won this heat in 44.07. Michael Norman, 44.26. And Samuel Ogazi, the youth prodigy from Nigeria, 44.41. So he would qualify as a non-automatic qualifier, while Javon Powell, 44.91, is not enough to make it into the final.
Yeah,
yes.
So unfortunately, guys, Jamaica, another event that Jamaica will not be featured in the final, and this is the men's 400-meter final. But he did his best.
Yes, and we have to congratulate his effort, congratulate his performance. But let's take a look at the men's 400 meters a little bit closely.
Yes. Yeah.
44.41, the slowest time going into the final. Wow.
Amazing. This is to show you, viewers and listeners, if you're just listening, this is to show you the depth of the 400 meters. If you are not running 44 low, and when I say 44 low, I'm talking about lower than 44.5. If you're not running lower than that, you're not able to be competitive. There's no way you can be competitive, because the top men are running 43. They're running 43 point. They're running lower than 44. So the aim is to get, and unfortunately, we have a little way to go, but this event, and when you look at this event and the fact that even Stephen Gardner, who is a 43 man, and he is not there, Van Niekerk, who is the Olympic 2016 Olympic champion and also the world record holder. It's amazing. It is at another level, guys. It is indeed
at another level. Indeed. Quality performances, and so they're introducing the women's hammer throw at this time. So we're looking forward to the finalists up. Ladies and gentlemen, the finalists of the men's 400 meters are Kirani James of Grenada, Muzala Samukonga of Zambia, Quincy Hall of the United States of America, Christopher Bailey of USA, Jareem Richards of Trinidad and Tobago, and Jareem Richards of Trinidad and Tobago, Michael Norman of the United States of America, Matthew Hudson of Great Britain, and Ogazi of Nigeria.
Indeed.
So my question to you is, Ogazi under 20, Wilson under 20. Do you believe that if Ogazi and Wilson were to compete against each other, who do you have winning?
That's a tough one, because the thing is that you never know how an athlete, what frame of mind an athlete is going to turn up in. And for me, it is always what you do on the day, not what you come in with, but what you do on the day. So for me, it could have been any of the two.
Yeah,
any
man.
of the two. Yeah.
I must be honest, I'm very impressed by Mr. Ogazi of Nigeria.
yes,
I really am.
Yes.
So to come in and to deliver
Big time.
Yeah, to deliver 2 quality performances to get him into the Olympic finals is no mean feat.
It's a big achievement.
Big achievement, and and in every round he has actually run faster. So he came into these championships with a personal best or a season's best of 44.54. In the heat, he ran 44.50, and in the semifinal, he lowered his time and ran 44.41. So it just shows you that Mr. Ogazi of Nigeria, he is a championship performer.
Indeed, indeed. And just to add a little bit more to these championships, many times fans see only medals, especially gold medals, but there are so many things that an athlete can take away from a championship. A personal best is one. Getting to a final is a big achievement, because these are things that actually increases an athlete's earning powers, where they can now go and say, okay, I run a personal best. This is my personal best. I ran it at the Olympic Games. I am a finalist, so I am able to negotiate endorsement and stuff. So it's not always just about winning that gold medal. There are different levels of accomplishments, and they all add to an athlete's earning powers.
Indeed. Excellent stuff.
But it is just amazing. This championship all over, apart from the drama and a lot of things that we don't agree with, and I still think that certain things that are happening could be much better. But when you look at some of the performances, and this is why we're looking at events by events each day, because we are able to break down certain information and look at the quality, not just Jamaica's involvement in the events, but look at the sport on a whole and look at the competitors from other countries, the flavor that they bring to the sport.
Yes, and they just gave the summary listing of the men's 400 meters. Oh my goodness, 3 men under 44 seconds.
Amazing.
And it's the semifinals. National record for Muzala Samukonga, 43.81 seconds. Quincy Hall, 43.95. Matthew Hudson Spade, 44.07. Michael Norman, 44.26 seconds. Christopher Bailey, 44.31, Jareem Richardson, 44.33, and Samuel Ogazi, 44.41.
Just brilliant.
I just want to highlight that the Caribbean has 2 representatives in this final. Excellent stuff from the Caribbean. I'm really happy for Jareem Richards, because Jareem Richards going in, he could have done either the 200 or the 400, and he decided to stick to the 400 meters, and I'm happy, and he is greatly rewarded. He's greatly rewarded for his decision to stick with the 400 meters. But from what we've seen in the semifinals, who you think will be on the podium?
I think this is going to be a tough one, but I think Kirani James can get on this podium again. I think Kirani James can get on the podium once more. Of course, there's no doubt Quincy will have to drop in order not to get on that podium. So I think Kirani James will be there. Quincy Hall will be there, and the number 3 spot I think is a toss-up.
I actually disagree with you, because I do believe for the podium, I do believe that there are 4 solid contenders.
True,
Yes.
and that is why I said the 3rd spot is a toss-up between the other 2. But I think Kirani James is going to get on the podium.
Because if you look at that heat, if you look at that heat, Mr. Samukonga, he ran down Kirani James to the line, and I think when I look at that heat, Matthew Hudson-Smith, he will be there in the final. I believe the 4 athletes who will be mounting a podium response: Matthew Hudson-Smith, Quincy Hall, Samukunga, Kirani James. And I think any of those 3 definitely will make the podium. Although I will have to highlight that Michael Norman is the fastest of everyone in the final with his PB.
Oh yes,
so if
you're
Michael
right.
Norman is in personal best shape, he's going to be very difficult to deny.
I forget about Norman, and I disrespected him because he's actually the world champion coming in, so I did not show him any love. And you're right, Michael Norman is very up there. So America could actually get 2 medals from this event. So
they could get none. Worst case scenario is none, but
I don't see them not getting none, although this is championship, and in the final anything can happen. But I see America getting medal. I see Kirani James too. Kirani James can find himself there, or 4th, close 4th. But what this shows about Kirani James is, is the longevity. Longevity, even with the challenges that he's having, he was still able to make another championship final, and he made it in style. He did not make this final in a small queue. And I'm not just saying that because he's Caribbean. I'm saying that because I've watched his entire career from he won at the Carifta Games, and his work ethics is just awesome. It's just brilliant, flawless, and I think he will be very much in the top 5.
And if you really put his career under a microscope, the only Caribbean athlete that has had a greater career than Kirani James is Usain Bolt. And when I mean from junior level right up to the senior. And we're talking about the men. I would say both men and women.
I wouldn't say he's second in the Caribbean looking at both sexes, because when you look at Veronica Campbell-Brown, when you look at Shelly and Fraser Price, and look from their junior career, especially Veronica is the most decorated track and field athlete. If you're going to look at her career from a junior come all the way up, in the run, Veronica has won medal at every track and field championship that you can think of.
But Kirani James has won every single title there is.
I don't know.
He has won World Juniors. He has won
like
World
Veronica,
Youth. He has won World Youth.
Yeah,
he has won. He has a World Championship title.
Right,
he has an
like
Olympic title. He's actually He's actually the youngest Olympic champion in history.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if we really look at their career, maybe he's somewhere close to Veronica, because Shelly-Ann did not have a junior career, so it would be hard to. And my thing is how I look at a track and field athlete's career. I look at from you start competing for the country. And this is why I always encourage our
youngest
athletes.
World champion.
Yes, over
he has
the
medal.
over the 400.
He has medal at 3 different. Was it 3? Yeah, he has medal at 3 different Olympic games. And when I look at Kirani James' body of work, that is why I have him in second place behind Usain Bolt. Because when you look at his body of work from the junior level up to the senior ranks, I think the only thing that separates him, the main thing that separates Usain Bolt from Kirani James is the fact that
The
Usain
world
Bolt's a world
records.
record holder.
Yeah, and Usain has run the world records
Multiple times.
Yeah,
Indeed,
and as
indeed.
it stands right now, Usain Bolt has the world championship record, the Olympic record for both 100 and 200. He has a world record for the both of them. So Usain Bolt is still very much relevant in terms of all of these records. And he also has the 4x1 world championship record, the 4x1 Olympic record, and the 4x1 world record in the relay. So Usain Bolt is way, way ahead, and we all agree in terms of championships, world records, and all of that. But Kirani James, I would very much put Kirani James in a bracket like with Veronica Campbell-Brown, Alyssa Felix, if we're going to look at
we're focused on the
career.
we're focused on the Caribbean.
Well, if we're focusing on the Caribbean, it would be him and Veronica if we're going as far back as their junior career. But yes, he has done remarkably well, exceptionally well for the sport, and he is just amazing. He is an amazing young man, and his work ethics is what impresses me more than anything else. When he takes that track, you cannot tell that he is struggling with a disease. You cannot tell because he goes out there and he gives off his best.
So now we have the women's 400-meter hurdles heat 1 being introduced, and we're just going to talk about the major players in this heat. So we mentioned Rochelle Clayton, Lena Nielsen of Great Britain, Jasmine Jones of United States of America. I do believe that Rochelle Clayton should easily be in the top two in this race. But what say you? How fast do you think Rochelle Clayton will run in this heat?
Who is in her heat?
Jasmine Jones of the United States.
Jasmine Jones. I think at this point, I think Rochelle Clayton from Jamaica, I think she should go for the win. 1, for confidence going into the final. 2, for getting a good lane, because believe it or not, lane draw matters depending on how you're seeded. So I think she should go for that. At least she'll be close enough to our main rivals or the main leaders of this event, Femke Bol from the Netherlands, and of course Sydney McLaughlin-Levroni from the United States.
I believe the semifinal will give us an indication of the shape that Rochelle Clayton is in. I believe this will be a fast semifinal. Pay attention to her first 200 meters because that's going to give you an indication as to whether or not she can seriously challenge the likes of Femke Bol and Sydney McLaughlin-Levroni. A lot of people have been writing off her chances, saying that Sydney McLaughlin and Femke Bol have been way out there. But what I will say is that Rochelle Clayton, she is a gutsy individual.
Yes.
She is someone who is willing to push the boundaries and to set the limits.
And she has improved. She has improved significantly
Indeed.
this season. She is the second fastest Jamaican woman over this event. So she is in the shape of her life.
Indeed. So we have with us Mr. Unseen Sports. Welcome.
I'm okay. Thanks for having me again. Here you guys talking about the 400-meter hurdles for women. The first heat in the semifinal where we have Rochelle Clayton. For me, looking at her season best, she looks like one of the favorite to go through to the finals, HP.
Yes,
and
I agree.
We're also looking at Jasmine Jones as well, who has a good season best as well, 52.77. Rochelle Clayton looking the best out of all of them, in my opinion.
Indeed. So they're on their marks.
Yeah. She looks...
And they're off.
And they're off. First 50 of the race, you want to make sure that you get that speed out. Clear that bar first. Let's see who comes off the turn there first. Rochelle Clayton looking to move into the lead. She's floating on that backstretch. Rochelle Clayton, Jasmine Jones there as well. As we said before, Jasmine Jones is a favorite to get that big Q in this one. Rochelle Clayton putting pressure on her. 200 meter in the race.
And I said before, look at her first 200
Rochelle
meters.
Clayton
and
moving.
Rochelle Clayton ran
She
an
looks good. She's
excellent
in front,
first 200
coming on the
meters.
straights.
Wow.
Rochelle
wow.
Clayton moving away, pulling,
Wow,
pumping,
she can shut it
driving
down
her
now.
hands. Rochelle Clayton will win this one. This
Wow,
one look easy
beautiful.
for her. Looks good to go in the final. She's showing the world
Yes.
that she is
Yes.
not going to.
Wow. Ominous.
She's showing the world HP
Ominous.
that she's not going to go in the finals and just sit back watching
Ominous,
Sydney
ominous,
McLaughlin
ominous,
and Fenky
ominous,
Ball
ominous.
just go away to win.
Ominous.
Well,
A
her
medal,
time.
a medal.
Well, her time was 53 seconds flat. Very impressive from her. So she qualifies. Jasmine Jones 53.83. Both of them qualified as not as automatic qualifiers. From South Africa, the South African athlete, she finished third as well. But I just want to highlight, ladies and gentlemen, her first 200 meters. She went out hard.
Love to see
her
that split.
first 200
She's
meters.
very strong. Very
strong. And as I said before, when you look at the likes of Femke Ball, and Sydney McLaughlin, you know, they are definitely gonna go all out very fast. And you think about it, I think when you think about Rochelle Clayton, you know, as an athlete, you have to believe that you can win. You have to believe that you can challenge the big guns, because that is how you're going to able to supersede expectations. That's how you're going to push your body to the limit. And if you look at it,
But my question though, let me just ask a quick question. Do we think she should have shut it down, the fact that she was like about what, 4 or 5 meters ahead? With another round to go? What do you
I'm
think
happy
about
that she didn't shut it down, because 400-meter hurdle is a rhythm event, right? You want to get that rhythm, you know, you want to get your body into that rhythm and so forth. And I do believe that she executed a very good race. And you know, I really expect her to run faster in the final.
In the final, yeah.
Really expect her to run faster in the final.
And that is why I was wondering if she should have shut it down, because she didn't have any more hurdles to negotiate. So should she have shut it down a little bit to conserve for the final, which I think is on
the final is on Thursday. So she has 2 days. She has an extra day to relax, you know, to rest and to recover, and then come back the next following day to run in the final.
Okay.
As relates to Rochelle, a lot of people are saying that it's a battle for bronze medals, and you know, we understand why they would say that.
I'm wondering if at this stage it is a battle for bronze, or is it a battle for a step up?
What I will say is that for Rochelle Clayton, she has to believe that she can challenge the top 2. You know, she has to believe that she is able to keep pace with them, because that is how we as human beings, that's how we as individuals push our bodies to the limit. That's how we run personal best. If you look at the Olympic Games, in 2021, Tokyo, Rai Benjamin, Carson Varholm, they were the big 2. Everybody was saying that Dos Santos would have been, you know, 3rd place and so forth. Dos Santos believed that he could challenge him, and even though he finished 3rd, he ran 46.70, which was under the world record, you know, Kevin Young's world record as well. When it comes on to, you know, championships,
Before
you have to believe.
any further, I think they're introducing the
men's long jump? Yes.
Men's long jump. They're introducing the men's long jump. And of course, Jamaica has 2 athletes in this event. We have Wayne Pinnock and Kerry McLeod representing us in this super event. And of course, we have high expectations here.
So I really want Rochelle to really just give off her best, to really have that incredible self-belief. Because look at it now, Dos Santos in 2021, he really pushed, you know, to be there with the big 2. Now he's a part of that big 3. You know, his personal best has improved leaps and bounds. You know, so I do believe that Rochelle Clayton should go into that 400-meter hurdles final, prepared to give it her all, prepared to challenge, you know, the top 2 as best as possible.
Okay, brilliant.
Indeed. Unseen sports.
Just watching the long jumpers coming out, and I was, you know, thinking about Pinnock. right? And I was saying to myself that Pinnock is a great hurdler. Why is he not
He
doing
is.
hurdles?
He
You know?
is indeed. He is indeed
Why
a
is
great
that-
hurdler. Yeah,
Why is he not doing hurdles, HB?
Because-
Maybe his passion, maybe he's more passionate about the drums, or maybe when he looks at the competition in the hurdles, maybe he think that the drums is, there he is.
No,
Oh,
that's Kerry McLeod. Kerry McLeod.
Kerry McLeod is being introduced.
Woo!
Yeah. I think when Pinnock decide, maybe, and this is just me speculating that maybe. Oh, here is Wayne Pinnock now coming out. Yeah, the 40 spear. The 40 spear is taking the track. Yeah, going back to your question.
40 spear?
Yeah, it's a 40 spear. Yeah.
40 spear. Oh my.
Unseen did not know that they're a 40 spear. They are, they are a 40 spear. Yeah. Yes, they're a 40 spear and they're an Arkansas pair also. And they're a Jamaican pair.
I think Casey should have a 6-1 where females can go there too as well.
I guess that is for another discussion. But
discussion.
I agree with you. I do think that our single-sex school should, at the highest school,
Yes.
they should merge. But that's for another discussion. But yeah, going back to the original question, I think that maybe Wayne Pinnock, when he looks at the competition in the sprint hurdles, maybe he thinks that, okay, I will have a better shot at the jumps than maybe the hurdles. That is just me. I don't know.
I disagree with that. I would
I
say
don't know. But we don't know. You know.
You know, that is true. We don't know, but I disagree in the sense that he has always been a competitive long jumper. He you know, to do an event and to do it well, you have to love it. You have to love the training. You have to love the, you know, the. You have to love everything about it. Well, you have to love, you know, training for the event. And I do believe that as it relates to Wayne Pinnock, I do believe that, you know, he has enjoyed success at the collegiate level in this event. I think he just wants to focus on the event. He's a young man, so he can always consider doing the hurdles at a later time. So, you know, I believe that, you know, long jump is his event, and he wants to focus on the long jump. And another thing I want to highlight as well is that as a competitor, you do not want to watch, you know, what competition there is in an event to see, okay, whether or not you pursue the event, yes or no. Because in athletics, you are an athlete. You want to be the best. So it doesn't matter if an event is loaded, yes or no. You want to be able to compete against the best of the best. So I wouldn't say that was a factor in him not pursuing the 110-meter hurdles any further.
Well,
in my opinion.
I hope one day I'll get the opportunity to interview him to get his reason instead of us trying to figure it out. But
HB, I think if he wins a gold medal in this, he might jump over to the hurdles for challenge.
well, we don't know. It would
Only
be
time will
good.
tell.
It would be good for him, and it would be good for his legacy, because he would be doing something that I don't think anybody else has really done. We've seen 100-meter runners do the long jump and also win at the Olympic Games in both events. You know, like Carl Lewis. I think Tori Bowie was also a jumper, and a sprinter, Tiana Bartoletta, was also do the same. But I've never really seen a hurdler, sprint hurdler, doing the jumps and the hurdling simultaneously in their pro
because
career.
they're two highly technical events. They're two highly technical events.
Yeah,
so
they are.
and then when you're in high school, you know,
You experiment.
not even experiment. You just do a lot of events, you know, just to ensure that your school wins points. But when you're at the pro level, you know, you want to zero in on a particular event.
Yeah, because of the work that it takes. Now we have on track the other semifinal, and I'm looking at Mrs. Sydney McLaughlin Levroni and also
Genevieve
Russell.
So Miss Genevieve Russell is being introduced. So, Unseen, you want to do commentary for this event?
Yes, I will. Commentary will be from Unseen Sports TV. Trying to get this thing.
So, a huge standing ovation for Miss Maraval of France. But this heat is a heat not to be underestimated. I think Genevieve Russell definitely will have to produce the goods in this heat.
She will have to run.
Well, just to highlight though from the previous heat. So in the men's long jump, although it hasn't been shown as yet, Furlani is in the lead with a jump of 8 meters 34. So this is what I like in the men's long jump. I love to see them hitting the high jumps early in the game. So Mattia Furlani, the world U20 champion, no, not world U20 champion, the world U20 record holder, 8 meters 34. He's in the lead in the long jump. Now, important to note that for the 400-meter hurdles, the time that you want to be targeting, the time that you definitely want to target in the women's 400-meter hurdles, the time that you want to target, I'm checking it for you.
Currently, Kerry McLeod is in.
And they're off. Looking at Sydney Laverne McLaughlin. She's out and about, doing the business from early. Looking smooth, relaxing on that 300-meter mark, swinging the hands, pumping. Genevieve Russell behind, looking smooth, coming down.
Oh, Sydney just looks smooth.
Sydney is just smooth in her approach.
I don't even think she's running.
But she applies her technique in this race. It's not an easy one. You have obstacles to go around 400 meters, one lap around the track.
And Genevieve Russell coming off the curve, she is in 4th place, but we know Genevieve Russell is a fast finisher.
Yeah, she's a very good finisher.
Let's see if Genevieve Russell can get herself back into the qualifying round.
Wow, this is tough. Run.
Excellent run from Sydney McLaughlin, and Genevieve Russell, based on thing, would not qualify to the final. She finished 4th in this heat.
Well, what is her time?
Oh my goodness. Sydney McLaughlin, 52.13 seconds, looking so smooth.
Easy.
What time do we have for Genevieve Russell? Is
Genevieve,
she on the bubble? Can she get...
It's slow.
No, she is not a slow time. However, it's not fast enough to be in the final, the non-automatic qualifiers.
Oh, wow.
So
no, not automatic, on the bubble.
No, non-automatic qualifiers. It's not fast enough to be considered a non-automatic qualifier.
Oh, wow. So she's out. Genevieve.
Yes, so she's definitely out. So Joseph, 54.12. She is 54.12. She's currently on the bubble along with the South African from the previous heat who clocked 53.90. But I just want to highlight just 52.13 from Sydney McLaughlin Lavroni. She is in a different stratosphere. And, I said before, we know that she and Femke Bol, they are easily the two strongest competitors in this event. But I do believe that that Rochelle Clayton should still work hard and still try to aim to at least keep pace with them and to challenge them. Okay. And I believe that she will be rewarded with a PB,
with a personal best,
with a huge PB if she's willing to go out and be gutsy in the final.
It's not going to be easy.
It's not going to be easy.
Yeah, it's not easy.
I think the only person this really can challenge Sydney McLaughlin is Swenky Ball.
Indeed.
Well, let's see. Clayton is showing stuff. So let's see.
For the goal. Remember, you have 3 different places that you can get medal.
We know.
Indeed.
So, wow, with that said, so we're just waiting on the 3rd semifinal for the women's 400-meter hurdles. And then after that, we are going to go into an interview with one of Jamaica's cultural gems. So we're just waiting on the 3rd semifinal for the women. What can you tell us about that, Akil?
So semifinal 2. Semifinal 3. Semifinal 3 has Cheyenne Solomon. So Cheyenne Solomon is in semifinal.
What lane is she in?
Wait, I'm trying to see.
Oh, she's in lane 8. Okay.
Yeah, she is in lane 8. right? Anna Cockrell, watch out for her as well
Yes,
from the United
Anna
States.
Cockrell from the U.S.
You know, Jessica Knight, Femke Bull.
Oh, wow.
And remember what I said earlier in the show, that I believe that a non-automatic qualifier will come from this heat.
Yeah.
But the time that you have to target is 54.14 seconds. And Shannon Solomon running 53.90 in the heat. I definitely think she can overcome. But she also has to watch out for the other competitors in this race. You know, I expect Femke Bull and Anna Cockrell to be top 2.
Indeed. And as we get ready for them, you know, so far Jamaica has won in that final, the women's 400-meter hurdles, and that is courtesy of one Miss Rochelle Clayton, who is on a she is in the form of her life this season. So we're expecting big things from her. And for me personally, once you're in the final, any game can play. So,
Indeed.
you know, we have high hopes for us. And as I said before, after the third semifinal for the women's 400-meter hurdles, we are going to go straight into a few interviews, and then we will come back to wrap up and look at the final of the men's long jump and also the women's 200-meter final that Jamaica will not be a part of, but it's a part of the sport. It happens.
Jamaica will be a part of it.
No, the women's 200.
Julian Alfred is in the race.
Well, Julian Alfred
Come on.
and Gabby Thomas.
Come on.
They're of Jamaican
Jamaicans.
The viewers know what I mean. When I say Jamaicans, I mean our colors. We will not get
our colors.
It doesn't matter who we claim, we will not get the credit.
I don't think we're claiming them. I think they are a part of us.
And let me just make something clear. A lot of people are saying, as Julian Alfred won the 100-meter, Jamaica is claiming her. Jamaica track and field has always claimed Julian Alfred. She is a part of us. We track fans watch her come through the ranks of champs, and so we've always claimed her. And then when she went to the University of Texas, we also cheered for her while she was there. So we're not just claiming her now because she won a gold medal, but she is a part of Jamaica's track and field legacy. She's a part of St. Catherine High legacy, and she's also a part of Champs legacy. And she said it in an interview, thank you, Jamaica, for being a part of the process.
But do you think, though, that it is, do you think it's appropriate on a international platform to claim these athletes? Reason I ask this question, because America could do the very same thing for us, because many of our athletes go to colleges in the USA. You know, many of the American coaches, they coach our athletes to greatness. So even though it's something that's a part of our culture or track and field culture here in Jamaica, do you think that on a international platform, on an international stage, we should be doing this as a nation?
You have a point.
I don't think we're claiming her in the sense. Remember, we are a culture of people where anywhere you are associated, anywhere in the world you are, and you're doing something good, and you're associated with Jamaica, we normally show you a certain amount of love. So I don't think it's claimed in such a way that we think that we're claiming her to be Jamaica, but in other words, we are showing her love because she has been a part of our legacy. And as I said before, for track and field fan like me, I am not just now cheering for Alfred. I've been cheering for Alfred from she was at girls champs, and she was actually in the shadows of Kevona Davis because she was always beaten by Kevona Davis at champs. And if you guys remember, she wore glasses at the time, and we used to say, okay, glasses girl is going to line up now. But I don't think we're claiming her. I think we're just showing her love. It's showing love, but we use the word claim.
And that point that you said a while ago, Akil, I believe, for me, I think it's a Jamaican thing. Of course, America can do a lot of that. But I think, you know, it's quite biased in the Jamaican standpoint.
It is.
Because we do that a lot.
Yeah, we do that a lot.
But it's not, in this case, it's not really claiming Julian Alfred. She was a part of the system coming up. She said it before. She said it on her interview. She's a part of the system, part of the process. You understand me? She was at St. Catching High School right down on Johns Road. And, you know, Stadium, Kevona Davis, and her battle,
yeah.
right through the
Okay.
high school system.
Fair enough, but I just believe that as a people, even though we are celebrating, you know, these individual successes, these are individuals who have ancestry or have been a part of the Jamaican system. I do believe though we should celebrate them as their own native people. You know, we should celebrate Julian Alfred as a St. Lucian who has won the Olympic title, and not as as a second Jamaican or so forth. I understand if it's being done on a more private platform, whether it's a backyard or a porch type of setting, but on an international level, sometimes I have to question the appropriateness of it. So right now we have the women's 400-meter hurdles. Cheyenne Solomon is in heat 3, and they're in the blocks.
She's in lane number 5.
She's in lane number 5.
Savannah Sutherland from Canada. Jessie Knight.
This is a
as
very
well.
tough heat.
It's a tough one for her. Let's see if she can get herself into the final and make Jamaica proud at the moment. And the deer half. Ooh, false start in that race. Or a faulty start.
Is that a false start? Hold on.
What went wrong?
Yeah, it looks...
Hold on. Them cut it already?
Will there be punishment? You're talking to someone here. They put her hand
I
up.
think Anna Cockrell put up her hand.
Right, as soon as that race run, I go announce and you bring in Miss Joan. And
When did Anna Cockrell put her hand? She's going to be in serious problem right here.
If Aliyah comes,
What the
So they're
officials will
waiting
do
to
here?
see.
Aliyah comes, I can. So she then Aliyah.
When did she put up her hand?
So ladies and gentlemen, just to update you, so 10 Toglu, he has jumped 8 meters, 8.27 meters in the men's long jump, so he's in second place. Wayne Pinnock, he is in fourth place with 7 meters, 0.84 centimeters. And Kerr McLeod is ninth in 7 meters, 0.51 meters. It's just the first jump, ladies and gentlemen.
5
And
more to go.
2 more to go.
And
And then the top 8 will get 3 additional jumps.
Yes. So it's a green card. To everyone, it's a green card. So Cockrell is safe, and Cockrell is safe.
At what point did she raise her hand?
Well, the official said that it's okay, so let us work with that.
No, I just want to update the athletes at one, because I think I get to understand the rule that once you're in the set position, you cannot raise your hand. Once you're in the the set position, you cannot.
Once you go up in the set position, you
raise
can raise
your
your hand.
hand.
But
That's what I heard.
she did not go in the set position, none at all.
That was
But
why I
the
was
other
asking.
athletes was in set position.
Oh, so she did not hear. Maybe she wasn't hearing.
Yeah, so maybe she wasn't here in
Yeah.
because she did start it off.
Because if she didn't move, it means that she didn't hear the commands.
This one is a big one, people. Frankie Ball, Anna Cockrell, China Salmon. Woo.
So this is the third semifinal of the women's 400
Let's
meter
see if
hurdles.
her time or replacement can get her into the finals, HP.
Cheyenne Salmon will have to run the race of her life, I think.
I don't think she has to run the race of her life. I think
And
that she
they're
has
off.
to run a good race.
What's the time that is on the bubble?
The time that's on the bubble, 54.14
Okay.
Cheyenne Salmon, quickly. Looks like she's in the lead right now. Putting pressure on Cockrell. Frankie Ball moving up as well. I think Salmon
have to
should try
stay
to
with
work
them.
work with them, stay with them on this back stretch. Don't let them move away. That is what
Someone
she's trying to
actually
do
has
right
been
now. She's
staying
actually
with
staying with them.
Frankie Ball.
Frankie Ball moving in front now.
Yeah.
Let's see if Salmon can get that second spot. She's moving, yes. Coming off the bend.
Stay with
Last
her,
100
stay with
meter.
her. Stay with
and watch
her.
out for Savannah of Canada.
Let's
as
see
well.
if
Stay with her. Stay with her.
stay with her, please. Let's go, girl.
Stay with her.
You can do
Stay-
it. Swing those
stay
hands.
With her. Stay with her. Push, push, push. Oh, she got third.
Woo! Good try. That's a good,
Good
run there
try.
by
Look at the
Cheyenne
time.
Salmon.
Let's see what the
53-1-3.
What?
So a huge personal best for Cheyenne Solomon. So Femke Ball won in 52.57 seconds.
50.
Anna
Anna
Cockrell,
Cockrell,
52.90. And Cheyenne Solomon, a
52.
huge personal best, 53.13
So she's
seconds.
in.
So she will be in.
She will be in the
Also
final.
in the final would be Savannah Sutherland, 53.80. So as stated earlier, 2 women from this race,
And
non-automatic
before we
qualifiers.
continue this discussion, we are going to move quickly into an interview for about 5 minutes with one of Jamaica cultural gems, and we will be right back with our discussion.
HP Chat Track in association with the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel and sponsored by Singer Jamaica Limited presents Paris Ayad. Come hang out with HP as we chat about the Olympics track and field with athletes, fans, coaches, and friends of Jamaica track and field and independent style. The Pegasus Hotel in Jamaica is the place to be from August 2 to 11. Come chat with HP Chat Track as we go live with interviews and discussions.
Your girl HP is on her mark, so get set ready.
On your mark, set, go.
Oh yeah, make we chat about it. Oh, what a fastest.
Let us cheer on Team Jamaica in Paris from Yad.
Check and feel at the topic.
Remember to subscribe, like, and share with your family and friends, Yad and abroad.
We're running it all the way. We're in the lead. We're running.
Paris Ayad.
We're running it.
The world is watching.
Today is Happy Independence. Oh my God, we did not even say it earlier. Happy Independence, Jamaica, Jamaicans anywhere you are. Happy Independence. With me today is Joan Andrea Hutchinson, the bumpy head girl. If you don't know that, you are too young. Welcome and happy Independence, Joan Andrea Hutchinson. Welcome to the program.
How you do?
I'm fine, I'm fine. How are you?
Perfect. Jamaica is 62 and I'm feeling absolutely wonderful about that.
It is the Independence and it is the Olympic Games. Your thoughts on the week of celebration that we're having both here with the Independence and the Olympic Games in Paris?
Yeah, Jamaicans, I mean, every opportunity to celebrate is something that we do. I, however, get a little disappointed with my Jamaicans because I think that we're a little too hard on the athletes. You know, I said to somebody, I don't want to do any kind of competition where I have the whole nation on my back. Because when they don't do well, Lord, we soccer them, and we cuss them, and we carry on. And hey, what's wrong with them have feelings too? Them feel bad about losing, them feel bad about not performing well. So sometimes we give them a little break sometimes, you know?
Indeed. Your thoughts on what is on the current Olympic Games in Paris and the happenings?
Well, I mean, there were obviously some issues which I think have affected the athletes and their performances. We have to remember, you know, people's mental health is really, really important. I remember, I think Simone Biles saying that she was on the phone with her therapist for an hour before one of her events, you know, and I think we need to take that into consideration. We send off our athletes, they've trained so hard, they're doing so well, but things happen. And I always say, look, it's not that our athletes underperform. We must remember that the other people are also training hard, wanting to win the medals as well. So it's fair game, you know. Sometimes we win, sometimes we not win. I just life.
It is. Your thoughts, you're a cultural, I call you a cultural icon for Jamaica. We're celebrating 62 years. How do you feel? What are your thoughts on merging sports and music?
Well, I mean, you can't separate them. This is Jamaica. Jamaicans, every opportunity to move and to dance and to think, that is just, look at our athletes. When they win a race or whatever, you see them on the track and they're dancing and they're carrying on. We literally can't separate the two at all.
Indeed.
So we have to celebrate.
Indeed. You're involved in a song that was written for the 2008 Olympic team. Tell me a little bit about that song.
Well, you know, I was actually in Edmonton at the time of the 2008 Olympics in Beijing. You remember the bird nest?
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Yes.
And I remember I was wearing my Jamaica colors, and everywhere I walked, people were like, oh, you Jamaicans run so fast. You would have believed I was a member of the Jamaican team, right? So I wrote this song in 2008, and I specifically wrote it to be timeless. So it doesn't mention Beijing, it doesn't mention Bolt or Shellyan, it just talks about the national pride. You fill us all with pride, Jamaican spirit with a heart of gold, because I wanted it to be a song that can last forever. It can also be used for world championships. It can also be used for any other athletics meet, you know. It talks about the prowess and the strength and the talent of Jamaican athletes. So it was recorded in 2008. It's on YouTube. A version of it is on YouTube. But this year when Camelia Candy Isaacs, she won the JCDC Festival Song Competition. And the person who produced her song, Sydney Thorpe from Fab Five, he was also the person who arranged the music for me for the song in 2008. So we had a quick discussion and said, maybe we should have her re-record the song. And so we got in the studio quickly. She re-recorded the song. Initially, we had a DJ, but she took the DJ part. And it's just so amazing to hear her just switch seamlessly between the singing and the DJ. She is amazing. She is absolutely amazing.
How can people find this song? Because I think songs like this that speaks about, the pride of Jamaica and our athletes and our achievement, we should be hearing them on the radio.
Right. I mean, we just released it like a few days ago. So, I mean, we're behind this, we're behind the eighth ball, right? But you can go to Bumpyhead Music, my YouTube channel, Bumpyhead Music.
I love that.
Bumpyhead Music, and it's there, And I think, not because it's my song, but I happen to think it's a good song. I really, really think it's a good song. It talks about the strength and the prowess of the Jamaican athletes. And as I said, we can use it anytime.
Well, you're going to have to sing a little part
when we know about singing.
You're going to have to sing a little part.
When we know about it, I can recite. It says, Jamaican spirit with a heart of gold. Athletes so strong, so proud, bold. Uniting Jamaicans wherever they are. Jamaican sun, Jamaican star. The blazing and amazing Jamaican team, fulfilling for all the Jamaican dream. The world celebrates, jump and shout. We name Jamaican. Everybody chat about.
Hold that thought, because you're going to have to do it at the end again. Where is Joan Andrea Hutchinson these days? Where's the Bumpyhead gal these days? What projects are you working on?
Oh, I'm always working on projects. I mean, I've been doing stuff in education for the last couple of years. So I've been with one of the teachers' colleges. I've been, handling communications and PR portfolios in many different jobs. That's what I've been focused on for the last couple of years. I sort of went under the radar a bit, and I didn't want to be performing anymore. I was raising my son. That was a big part of it. Now that he's 22, finished university, I am now prepared. Right. I'm now prepared to do some of the Joan Andrea Hutchinson projects, because I think there's a legacy. More and more I'm convinced.
That's my word, legacy.
Yeah, more and more I'm convinced of the legacy that I have. When I do like the Jamaican proverbs and I talk about them, people are like, oh, but people need to hear about them. So, I just did this line of Jamaican t-shirts with the proverbs and their explanations. So when you say, for example, dog a sweat but long hair cover him. Because I always tell people...
What does that mean? Dog a sweat but long hair cover him.
Right. Proverbs always have shades and levels of meaning, right? So the literal meaning is, if a dog is sweating, you can't see the dog sweat because he has hair.
Yes.
But, the other level now is, you have all kinds of things going on in your life. Maybe you have a criminal investigation going against you, whatever. But you have a nice house, you have a nice car, you have a nice spouse, you have a nice job. And so that is the long hair. It's the trappings, it's the trimmings, it's the exterior. So dog a sweat, but long hair covering. And we can use the proverbs to teach.
You need to start a YouTube channel, man. You need to put all of this cultural
just in
stuff.
the process of setting it up now.
Good, beautiful. If you need
in a week,
help, let me know.
Yeah, man, in a week everything will be up and running, because I really think that we need to use it to teach the next generation and to remind some of the older generation too.
Totally agree. With the Olympic Games going on now, which event, I know that we're in the middle of things, but which other event are you looking forward to?
Boy, I'm a track and field girl. I really am a track and field girl, and I get really, sometimes when track and field events are going on, I'm in my living room literally running up and down watching track and field events, But what I really want to say at this point is, I really want to say to Jamaicans, please just support our athletes. Please support them. No cuss them, no saka them, no tear them down. Remember, when they don't win a race, or they pull up or whatever, them feel bad about it too. So nobody make it worse on them. You know what I mean? No,
Indeed. My last question to you before you recite a part of the song: will we ever see the Bumpyhead gal again in terms of the hairstyle?
Well, I mean, I do it sometimes, I mean, I have the locks now, but it's a little harder now to do it now that I have the locks. But every now and then I do it. But the Bumpyhead gal, she resides in my heart.
What was the inspiration behind the Bumpyhead gal, though?
Well, in 1996, I had just returned to Jamaica. When I left Jamaica, I went to broadcasting school in Holland. Couldn't find a black hairdresser to do anything with my hair, so I cut it off. Then I started twisting it. At one point, it looked like yours. And then I came back to Jamaica. I hosted a television program wearing the Nubian knots, what we call Chiny Bump. And people were angry. They called
I saw it.
Yeah, man, they called the station and cuss and said, take off that dirty Bumpyhead gal off the TV, etc. But guess what? I was raised by two parents who who fully affirmed me. So they were cussing me and saying, you know, Rasta looking gal, take her off of the TV. But I'm feeling so good about myself. So that's why I wrote the poem, That Bumpy Head Gal. And the last 4 lines says, you know, so galang, call me black and bumpy head if you want, but make sure so you say it loud, because the creator love me and me feel good for be bumpy head, black and proud. And I'm just a proud, wonderful Jamaican woman. Hey, me like me, you know, me think me's a nice lady.
We should, and we need to embrace us a little bit more. And in closing, I just want you to recite a part of your song, just a few lines.
Well, the chorus says, you spread your wings, your spirit cannot hide. You run your race with God as your guide. Green, black, and gold, the victory in your stride. You fill us all with pride. And that's how I feel.
Beautiful.
When our athletes perform, you fill us with pride. So proud of you.
Beautiful, beautiful. And with that said, thank you very much, Andrea Hutchinson, the bumpy head girl, for joining us here on HP Chat Track and Unseen Sports TV during our Olympic discussion coverage. Thank you very much. Next, we will have on set is an Olympian, and Olympian will be joining us now, and we'll be right back. Thank you.
HP Chat Track in association with the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel and sponsored by Singer Jamaica Limited presents Paris Ayad. Come hang out with HP as we chat about the Olympics track and field with athletes, fans, coaches, and friends of Jamaica track and field in independent style. The Pegasus Hotel in Jamaica is the place to be from August 2 to 11. Come chat with HP Chat Track as we go live with interviews and discussions.
Your girl HP is on her mark, so get set ready.
On your mark, set, go.
Oh yeah, make we chat about it. Oh, what a fastest.
Let us cheer on Team Jamaica in Paris from Yad. Remember to subscribe, like, and share with your family and friends, Yad and abroad.
We're running it all the way, we're in the lead. We're running.
Hey guys, I am back with you. This is HP from HP Chat Track and Unseen Sports TV. With me is an Olympian. You guys know that I love the Olympians, right? Yes. With me is another Olympian, and this Olympian is not from the track or in the field. Of course, she is going to tell you which event she is from, and she is, maybe some of you who are watching maybe know her face, but this is Janelle Atkinson. Janelle, welcome. Happy Independence. How are you?
Thank you. Happy Independence, Jamaica and rest of the Caribbean as well. Good, thanks.
Janelle, it is Independence. It is the Olympic Games. We're having a great week of celebration. Your thoughts?
I mean, it's always a wonderful experience being back at home for the Independence Day. For me, being a Jamaican, I'm so proud. I'm proud to represent our country in 2 Olympics, in 2000 and 2004 in swimming, swimming the 400 and 800 freestyle, finishing 4th in the 400, 9th in the 800 at just 17 years old. So, it's a special moment for me to be back here. I mean, 24 years after my first Olympics and still representing and, basically running into people that somehow still recognize me.
Yes, I did. But Janelle, something, it's a season. This is your season. You're a big part of our legacy. As you just explained, because that was going to be my next question, to tell the fans who are not sure which discipline you competed at the Olympics for Jamaica. You did say swimming, but what motivated and what influenced your decision to take up swimming?
It was one of those, my parents growing up, they had a pool, or they built a pool in our backyard, and they really wanted us to be water safe. I have an older sister and a younger brother, so they went to the YMCA, had a coach come to the house to teach us how to swim. From there, he actually mentioned to my parents that, hey, you should have them sign up for, club swimming, because it's basically free daycare, drop them off at the YMCA, they'll be in a safe environment, don't have to worry about anything, and it's an extracurricular activity that, can take them places. My parents didn't really think anything of it, but more just like, well, 3 kids, free daycare. They're running their own business, so it sounded like a win-win situation. So from there, we joined the club, and really and truly just took off from there. I never had any expectations of being an Olympian. Swimming was not my passion at all.
Wow.
Yes. I was really big into dancing and cheerleading, loved pantomime, anything little theater, I was there. Never did anything with it, but, it's one of those where based on the three of us siblings being in swimming, my parents are like, listen, we don't have time to be making one-on-one drop here and there. So everybody doing the same sport, swimming, that's it.
The Olympics is a big deal. What was it like when you made your first Olympic team, when you discovered that you were going to the Olympic game to swim in that big pool for Jamaica?
It was a very surreal experience. It was a build-up, honestly, from 98. I competed at the CAC Games, Commonwealth Games, CCCAN. Those are kind of like my first big set of games. CAC really ended up winning 3 silver medals. That was huge for me. And that really kind of was the first stepping stone to understanding where exactly I was compared to the rest of the world. Fast forward a year later at Pan Am Games, I won 3 silver medals again. And that was the first time, or actually I was the only English-speaking Caribbean representative. I think, actually not even English-speaking, anyone from the Caribbean had won a medal outside of, I believe, Canada and the US. So It was a very big deal, and that's really when it solidified, not just to me, but the rest of the world, that I was here and I was ready.
Wow. Her CV, her resume is tall, but we're just going to look at the Olympic Games. She is an Olympian. At the 2000 Summer Olympic Games, she became the first Jamaican swimmer to finish in the top 4 of her event. She set a national record at the 2000 Olympic Games, placing 4th in the 400-meter freestyle finals. I don't even know what the freestyle is. She also set a national record at the Sydney Olympic Games to finish 4th in the 800-meter freestyle in her heats. Janelle, this is huge. This is a big deal. This is your legacy. This is Campion legacy. Campion College, yes, she's a Campion girl.
Yes.
This is Jamaica's legacy. You're a big deal. How do you feel about being a part of this accomplishment?
It's always interesting hearing other people say it back to me, the things I've accomplished, because I just feel like I'm just a normal person. Every day I wake up, put on, my shoes, my pants, the same way that everybody else does. So, to meet fans who understand and recognize the dedication, the hard work, all that stuff that came with it is really a blessing for me. To be 17 years old and swimming in my first Olympics, I'm still not even technically, I am the highest placed female Caribbean swimmer of all time across any Olympics. Swimming has never won a medal for the female side. Both myself and Alia are tied at 4th. So, it's one of those where it's such a blessing to be, here and, like, again, hearing other people say it back to me makes it even so much more surreal.
Do you think as a country we show enough love to our swimmers and other events outside of track and field?
You want to get me in trouble? Very short way of saying it, no.
Be honest, girl.
No, it's not. And it's one of those where, we hear track people complain all the time, oh, we don't have this, we don't have that. And, swimming for the longest time has literally been scrapping up little crumbs and, being satisfied what we get. That time I think has long gone. And based on myself, based on Alia, even Sean Bryn, Andrew Phillips, who is our other Olympic finalists. We have done so much for the country, and have shown with the little that we have given, we have produced so much. So imagine what would happen if we had just a little bit more resources behind it, and what we could really accomplish.
Indeed. I've heard that swimming is very expensive. Were you able to get endorsement to help you along the way, like track athletes over the years have been getting endorsement, shoe endorsement, clothes, whatever. How was it for you?
We didn't really have, at least nowadays, you can get endorsement while you're still in college. Back in my day, you weren't allowed to have both. It was one or the other. For me, I chose my education because education is priceless. And there's no amount of money that a company could give me that would make me jeopardize that scholarship that I had. So, for me, there wasn't really any kind of financial backing backing per se. I was on an Olympic Solidarity Scholarship, which is given by an Olympic Solidarity Committee, where they choose representatives that have been nominated by the countries in different sports to help aid in training, resources, etc. So I was a beneficiary of the Olympic Solidarity Foundation. I'm super grateful for it because I know without their support, there's no way I could have done half the things I did.
Wow, wow. You have retired, Ali have retired, your brother have retired. How can Jamaica as a country get back into this thing where, because between you and Alea and your brother, we've had a representative in the pool consecutively, but now that you guys have retired, we have dropped a little bit. How can we get back there as a country? What do we need to do?
You know, it's one of those where it's not just putting in money for right now, it is setting a long-term plan. That's what I've always felt, even as an athlete. You know, I retired very young. I plagued with injuries. So at my last Olympics, I figured it was time for me to step aside, allow somebody else an opportunity, and hope that the Swim Association or the Olympic Association had at least kind of put together something, you know, came on my back, you know, asked for funding, asked for sponsorship, and used that towards, you know, someone who was up and coming. Because it's one of those where sometimes we're so short-sighted in thinking, okay, let's just take whatever we have now and then we'll figure it out later. No, let's figure it out now and the plan for later. You know, so I feel like that's one of the biggest things that I would love to see, you know, the ASAJ do. I know we have a new president, which I'm super excited about. I actually swam with him for the longest time. So I'm very close with him, and I'm really looking forward to see how he takes ASAJ to a whole other level.
Indeed, indeed. When let me ask you a little bit about the pool. This broad shoulder that you guys have. I mean, I'm jealous. When you guys coming out and you see that broad shoulder, is that all from swimming?
I would like to think so, but I've been retired for so long, I can't give you something else.
No, man, you guys
No,
have
thank
that
you.
super broad shoulders. It is hard to watch. But when you're in competition, when you're in the pool, and you're doing, because the pool is 50 meters, right?
Yes.
So when you're doing a 100 meter or 200 meters, how do you know when you reach the board to touch and to turn?
You know, you have to look basically. Depending on the stroke, backstroke is the only stroke that's swum on your back. So you're looking at the flags above. I don't know if any of you have seen it, but they basically look like little triangles. They're about, I think, 5 meters out or so. And basically what we'll do is count our strokes from the time that we see the flag directly above us. That's for backstroke. For freestyle, basically you're looking straight down. You're looking at the what we would call the T. As you can see, if you look at a pool, you'll see basically one long line at the end of line, almost like a cut-off section. So it looks like a T, but it's one continuous thing. So we'll count our strokes from there. For butterfly, breaststroke, you're breathing forward, so you can kind of see the wall, but you're not really gauging essentially how many strokes until you really get to that T as well, if you're taking 1 or 2 or just none.
So suppose you miscount. What do you do if you miscount and, you know, you didn't get to touch the wall? But let me ask you something. Touching the wall, if you don't touch the wall, will it register on the clock?
No, man, at some point you'll hit the wall, whether it's your head, your hand, foot, whatever it is. And the time will register. It's just a matter of what touches that wall first. Unlike in track and field where they talk about the chest has to pass the plane first,
Yeah, the chest.
in swimming, no, it doesn't matter what touches the wall first. So if you come in and your head hit the wall, that's the time it's going to register. Even though technically your hand could be out in front, but if you're not, I guess, like planning for that, then that happens.
Wow, wow. Injuries. You've been plagued with injuries and stuff. How were you able to overcome the injuries and the challenges to get back into the pool?
That's a great question because I'm still trying to overcome them. I've had 2 knee surgeries, 2 shoulder surgeries, and an ankle surgery. And, you know, every day you just take it day by day. You know, after the first Olympics, I really had both knees and shoulders. So it was one of those where trying to come back from it, it was more just trying to focus on the here and now and not focus on the things that I have done. You try and look at it as a whole new, I guess, career, if you will, rather than taking almost kind of the pressure of what you had been, because that can really dilapidate an athlete of thinking about, this is how good I was, I expect to be this, I expect to be that. Just reset, refocus, and think of it as a brand new career for you.
My second to last question. I want you to talk to the powers that be about what we can do. I know we mentioned it a little bit, but what we can do to quickly get back swimming on the Olympic roster? Because outside of track and field, swimming has been the next consistent sport for Jamaica.
You know, and that's one of those things where, you know, what I actually feel would be a huge benefit, not just for Jamaica, but the entire Caribbean, because as a Caribbean unit, you know, we've had great representation. Jordan Crooks, this Olympics around from Cayman Islands, actually made it all the way to the final in the 50s. So, you know, it's one of those where it's not that we're not capable of getting to that, but if we pool all of our resources together and really start to rely on other and essentially almost kind of like share the information, I think as a Caribbean community, we can actually excel in swimming as well. So, you know, one of the things that I've kind of dabbled with and kind of thought about, still trying to get it off of the ground, but, you know, creating almost kind of like what the U.S. has as like a national select camp for the Caribbean athletes, where we'd have even former Olympians come back and really be a part of that process as well, you know, to essentially kind of like connect the past and the future. Because a lot of the Caribbean athletes right now have no idea the history that the Caribbean has had in swimming.
Indeed.
And that is a shame.
Yes.
So it's one of those where if we can pull together all the resources that we have, all the amazing former Olympians that we've had, and really get them in a room with, you know, these prospective Olympians and, you know, future of our sport, I mean, I think that could be such an amazing thing. Couple that with, you know, a couple coaching clinic where, you know, a lot of us former athletes are coaches and are very informed about what goes on in the coaching community. So being able to teach them also how to prepare their athletes, how to spot real talent in these other events. Because, I mean, not for nothing, I tried to see the Caribbean, the 50 and 100 freestyle.
Indeed.
There's so many more events. Like I said, myself, Joanna Evans, Damian Aline, you know, we've all been 400 freestylers, Alex Sobers, you know, so it's there. So why not continue to tap into that rather than focusing on, well, let's just sprint. No, there's so much more in there. Because, yeah, of course, I could have gone the 50, but I wouldn't have been a finalist. I wouldn't have been fourth. So, you know, let's figure out ways in which we can diversify and, you know, get our athletes in different events.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. And my last question to you, you have been compared, not compared, but many people, when Aliyah Atkins came around, a lot of people thought that you guys were sisters. People were even convinced. They were like, yeah, man, them are sisters and so. How did you feel knowing that your name and Aliyah's name always come up in a discussion, whether you're sibling or rivalry or whatever? How did you feel about that, though?
You know, it was for me, it was one of those where I didn't want to take away from her achievements. So for my name to be mentioned in there, it's like, okay, that's great. But, you know, don't put it as a precursor as, well, is Janelle's sister or Janelle's cousin or whatever. No, this is Aliyah. She's an entirely different person, entirely different families. And so for me, I remember when she came, when she made it to the finals and was fourth, you know, it's one of those where I tried very hard to separate the two of us because she deserves her flowers the same way that I got mine.
Yes.
And I will never stand in somebody's way of being able to achieve the things or even just kind of like get the respect that they deserve.
Indeed, indeed. Because as I said, a lot of people they didn't know, but they were just saying, yeah, man, they're sisters, they're cousins.
They want a proper cuss off again. Oh, you mean you're not related?
Yeah, yeah. But you guys even have a slight resemblance too.
I don't think so.
But, you know, guys, with that said, another Olympian, another of Jamaica's gem, you know, another of our flag bearer, Janelle Atkinson, a Jamaican Olympian in the pool, yes. National record holder and the whole works. Janelle, thank you very much for stopping by and having a chat with us. Guys, we will return in a few minutes. Thank you very much.
HP Chat Track, in association with the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel and sponsored by Singer Jamaica Limited, presents Paris Ayad. Come hang out with HP as we chat about the Olympics track and field with athletes, fans, coaches, and friends of Jamaica track and field and independent style. The Pegasus Hotel in Jamaica is the place to be from August 2 to 11. Come chat with HP Chat Track as we go live with interviews and discussions.
Your girl HP is on her mark, so get set ready.
On your mark, set, go.
Oh yeah, make we chat about it. Oh, what a fast make we chat about it.
Let us cheer on Team Jamaica in Paris from Yad.
Check and feel at the topic.
Remember to subscribe, like, and share with your family and friends, Yad and abroad.
We're running it all the way, we're in the lead. We're running.
Paris Ayad. The world is watching and so are we. Let's support Team Jamaica from Yad as their quest for gold at the Paris Olympics begins. Hi everyone, I'm your girl HP, the host at HP Chat Track. We're here to cheer on Team Jamaica, win, lose or draw. From the track to the field, our athletes embody the spirit of resilience, determination and excellence. They are the pride of Jamaica, and now they're ready to conquer Paris. Join us on HP Chat Track as we bring you updates and in-depth analysis of our athletes' performances. This is more than just a competition. It's a celebration of our nation's talent and spirit. Remember to subscribe, like and share Yard and Abroad.
Welcome back everybody to HPE Chat Track, and we are live here from the Pegasus Hotel. So we're just here to talk about some of the finals that would have taken place while the interviews while we were having the interviews. So we just saw cracking men's 1500 meters, and to be honest, I think I'm gonna admit to this. I am very happy that Jakob Ingebrigtsen did not finish on the podium. Why I'm not happy that he's not on the podium. He's an athlete that he doesn't respect his competitors.
So he's one of those boast athletes.
He's one of those arrogant athletes, and he is fast. He is one of the fastest men in this event, and you want him to run. You want him to run to his potential. Even in that race, you notice that he was looking around, looking for Josh Kerr. Focus on your race. Focus on your race plan. And to be honest, I'm happy that the likes of Negus and Haka were able to beat him along with Josh Kerr, because it teaches young athletes that yes you may be better than your competitors. However, in a championship, anything can happen. Your competitors can rise to the occasion. You need to respect your competitors, respect the nature of the competition, and do what you need to do. So I'm very happy that Jakob did not make the podium.
Yeah, indeed. Is he another Noah Lights? Or
No.
is worse than Noah Lights?
It's not about worse. It's not about worse or better than Noah Lyles, because the thing with Noah is that Noah does show respect to his competitors, especially if he realizes that these competitors are capable of beating him.
That's true. That's true.
Jakob, ever since he has won the Olympic title, he had lost the World Championship title in 2022, lost the World Championship title in Budapest, and yet he still finds room to, not respect. And I'm not talking about respect his competitors in terms of words and being disrespectful to them. I'm talking about in his race strategy and race plan.
So Jakob came fourth.
He finished fourth. He finished fourth. Didn't defend his Olympic title. When as relates to Jakob Ingebrigtsen, he is one of the fastest and strongest athletes in the 1500 meters, right? I want him, because I'm a person who I respect his body of work. I want him to be able to run the race. I know that he's capable of. Take control of the race, run the race. Run the race at a pace that is that he is used to. If he had run this race at his pace, he would have been the Olympic champion and he would have had the Olympic record. Instead, Cole Hawker of the United States is the Olympic champion with an Olympic record of 3 minute 27.65. Josh Kerr 3 minute 27.79. This is a national record. And Yared Negus 3 minute 27.80, a personal best. Now, what I need to highlight is that Josh Kerr 3 minute 27.79. That is a huge national record, because Great Britain also has Sebastian Coe. Sebastian Coe, the only athlete to repeat as champion, Olympic champion in the 1500 meters. He's also the World Athletics president. And for Josh Kerr to have a time that is faster than Sebastian Coe, that is a big deal.
Yeah, big deal indeed. Cole Acker looked superb though. As you said, the Olympic record, 3 minutes 25.65 seconds. And Josh Kerr from Great Britain. Great Britain really stepping up their track and field program. if you ask me.
No, but Great Britain 1500 meters traditionally is an event that Great Britain tends to do well in. So there's no surprise. And Josh Kerr, he is the world champion. So you do expect him. I did expect him to actually improve and to do well at these world championships. But once again, Jakob is a 3-minute 26 runner at his best.
At his best.
And he has run 3-minute 26 this season.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
The problem I continue to have with Jakob, what Jakob did at 300 meters where he's looking around and looking at his competitors and looking for Josh Kerr and so forth, that definitely would have taken out some time out of his performance. When you are an athlete, when you are better than your competitors, you have to be focused. You have to deliver your race plan. You have to focus on the race that is in front of you. And Jakob did not do that, and rightfully so, he was off the podium.
Can we look at the long jump?
Sure. So we look at the long jump now. So, ladies and gentlemen, Wayne Pinnock is in second place with 8.36 meters. The leader at the moment is Tentoglu of Greece, 8.48. And in the bronze medal position is Mattia Ferlani, 8.34.
Hey, that jump that Miltadis Tengolo made was out of this world. Like, he hit that board perfect. Then he hung in the air with the hitch kick, and his landing was perfect as well.
But what I want to highlight, as it relates to Tentoglu is that Tentoglu, he is a clutch competitor. As I said before, he has only lost one major global medal between the period of 2021 and 2021 and 2024. So if you're gonna beat him, you have to beat him well, and that's why I've been pushing. That's why I'm hoping that Wayne Pinnock would be jumping the 8.60 and the 8.70 because that is what you're gonna need in order to beat Tentoglu. The world record for this event is 8.95. So 8.95 meters, and that is by Mike Powell of the United States.
And that's
of
far,
America.
that's far away.
That is far, but
8.60. 8.60, I think can win it.
And if you look at that, and if you look at when he jumped that world record at a time where Carl Lewis had one of, in my opinion, one of the most legendary series in long jump history. Carl Lewis was primed, set, and ready for that world championship title, and then Mike Powell came and jumped that world record. So so as it relates to Wayne Pinnock, you need that big jump. You need that jump that is going to put this competition beyond Tentoglu, because Tentoglu, you cannot give him any chance, in this men's long jump.
But I saw Wayne Pinnock after he jumped that 8.36, and he said to this coach that, relax, keep it. It's coming. That big jump is coming from Wayne Pinnock. Wayne Pinnock, Fortis, Kingston College athlete. Now in the seniors,
so
he's saying,
calm down.
It's coming.
So, ladies and gentlemen, so Wayne Pinnock is now getting ready to be on the board, at this time. So what happened is that this will be his fourth attempt.
His fourth attempt.
So Kerry McLeod, he finished outside of the top 8. Kerry McLeod, he finished in 12th place with 7.82 meters. So he did not make the cut. So disappointing for Kerry McLeod. But Wayne Pinnock, he's currently on the board, 8.36 meters. His fourth attempt. Let's see how far he can jump.
My question is why Wayne Pinnock did not clear that qualifying mark with the big Q from the first round?
Well, sometimes you just want to do enough to qualify for the final, and I believe that's what he did.
Okay. So on track now is a 3,000 meter for women.
3,000 meter steeplechase.
3,000 meters steeplechase for women.
For women.
Sorry about that, people.
Yes, and the athlete you want to pay keen attention to. You want to pay attention to the Kenyans, of course, Beatrice Chipkoech. You want to pay attention to her. You also want to pay attention to the Bahrain athlete Winfred Mutil Yavi, and also the Ethiopian as well, Alam Mayu, and the Europeans as well in this race.
So far, so good, Akil, for Jamaica today?
Well, I was hoping for I was hoping for 2 medals in the long jump. So far, we're in position to get 1, but I really hope that he's able to jump a huge jump so that he can get the gold medal. So Wayne Pinnock, he jumped 8.05 meters on his 4th attempt. So Tentaglu is still in the lead.
How many attempts do they have after this?
They have 2 more attempts.
Okay. I think in long jump, it's about sometimes decision is made on the last final jump. Who wants it the most will get it. You can be in the 2nd place and then somebody just come and snatch it away from you. You have to try to get that big jump to move clear away from persons. And 8.48 from Tentaglu, 8.36, 8.34 from Forlani. I think Wayne should try to get a bigger jump because Forlani is like 2 centimeters away from him.
Indeed, yes, 2 centimeters away from him.
2 centimeters away. Needs to get a better jump in the 5th attempt. Only have 2 attempts, and Wayne Pinnock want a goal now. I want to see Wayne Pinnock getting that goal, beating Tentaglu. So I think he needs to go to his best, maybe 8.6, 8.7.
Indeed. And the thing with Tentaglu, even at 8.50 meters jump, it's still not safe with Tentaglu, because the thing with Tentaglu is that you have to beat him. He's a competitor where you have to beat him. You have to beat him soundly, in order to win the gold medal, because he's just such a championship performer. So,
okay, the 3,000 meters steeplechase is on track, and
so we're gonna go on break, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, okay, no problem, and we're gonna come back for the women's 200-meter final. All right.
HP Chat Track, in association with the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel and sponsored by Singer Jamaica Limited, presents Paris Ayad. Come hang out with HP as we chat about the Olympics track and field with athletes, fans, coaches, and friends of Jamaica track and field and independence style. The Pegasus Hotel in Jamaica is the place to be from August 2 to 11. Come chat with HP Chat Track as we go live with interviews and discussions.
Your girl HP is on her mark, so get set ready.
On your mark, set, go.
Oh yeah, make we chat about it. What if I said, make we chat about it.
Let us cheer on Team Jamaica in Paris from Yad.
Check and feel at the time.